Welcome to Hip Hop Theology, where we bring you insightful analysis of the integration of theology and hip hop. Today, we take a closer look at Joyner Lucas's latest release, Devil's Work 2. One of Joyner's strengths is his ability to convey a story and emotion through his lyrics. I think he is at his best when he does so. In his latest release, it's no different. Devil's Work 2 takes on the topic of grief and loss and the injustices that he sees in the world. Furthermore, it is an expression of that grief to God. On account of that, I'm comparing this track to the lament genre of biblical literature. The lament genre is a style of literature in the Bible where the people of God express their grief and sorrow in an expression to God for justice. This track is a musical version of that same style of literature. I made this point in my video about the original Devil's Work, so be sure to check that out if you want more detail. The Book of Lamentations, for example, is a book in the Old Testament of the Bible that contains lament psalms. Psalms are brief religious songs or poems that express a variety of emotions to God. The psalms and writing in general in Lamentation are a raw, emotional expression of grief from the prophet Jeremiah about the Israelites experiencing crisis and deep sadness as they are carried off into captivity by an enemy nation. Joyner Lucas in his song echoes the same sentiments of crisis and deep sadness concerning the many deaths in society over the past 3 years. He speaks about the people who have passed away and who he wishes he could bring back. Many of these people were well known and they all died tragically by violence or accident. Joyner then laments God's ways. He basically asks why God would allow these people to die. He uses the common phrase of God taking these people, which for some would imply that God is intentionally choosing these types of deaths. Interestingly enough, that brings up another theological discussion that should be another video about the will of God and the theological concepts of determinism and free will, which are very fascinating. Needless to say, that isn't the point of Joyner's lament. In the song, he is purely expressing grief to God about the loss of lives of people like Kobe Bryant, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor, who were all tragically killed or died in an accident. Joyner questions God's decisions and why things have turned out the way they have. Joyner then pleads with God to consider rewinding time and making it so that these tragic deaths and situations didn't happen. Joyner cries to God that maybe he could have stopped Donda West from dying so that Kanye's mental health wouldn't have tanked. Joyner expresses a desire to God that maybe Kobe and Gigi would have decided to take an alternative transportation method on that day that they died in the helicopter crash. We see Joyner entering the bargaining phase of the well-known 5 stages of grief named after Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. He takes us on an emotional journey that many of us who have lost close family and friends can relate to. The song is a powerful expression of grief and sorrow that may be cathartic for those who are experiencing similar emotions. Overall, I believe the comparison between Devil's Work 2 and the lament genre of biblical literature are pretty clear. Both express raw emotions of grief and pain, and both question the decisions/allowances of God. The difference in the lament here, as opposed to the one in the original Devil's Work, is that Joyner this time is asking God to rewind time to change the course of events rather than exchange the life of one who experienced the injustice for the one who did the injustice. I remember that idea left a bad taste in some people's mouth. They say he's asking for God to trade lives like Pokemon cards. And there were some very vocal people on social media who simplified and generalized the song for that reason. And I feel bad because they missed out on the true meaning of the track due to the reaction that they had. It wasn't serious about trading the lives of people. That was clear when at the end of the song, after his drunken grief started to clear, Joyner started with a sobering mind. I know it's the devil's work, which is the same way he concluded his work too. You notice he even gave the same exact closing 3 lines. I hope this analysis will start provoking for you. What do you think about this track overall? And do you find yourself lamenting along with the song for the lives of those who were lost? So Thank you for watching as well. I appreciate you giving the time to listen to this video essay and analysis of the song. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know and I can do more. And please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share on all your favorite subreddits. See you all next time.